Thank you for joining me for the Creating Resilience video series. This is video number 21. In this video, we're going to continue talking about emotional expression. How do you help with emotional expression? How do you help yourself? And how do you help others? It's really very important to understand that it takes the rest of the tree to get to this point. You have to have a safe environment and trusting relationships and feel like you have some regulation and identification skills to really be able to emotionally express yourself well. There's a great fun activity to do if you have someone that you're sitting with watching this video or somebody that would do an activity with you later. And that is that you pick an emotion you have been feeling. That was one of our reflection and action steps in the last couple of videos, is think about an emotion you've been having and sit down with somebody that's a good support person, that you have a safe, trusting relationship, and share that emotion with them. And just tell them, I feel frustrated lately. I can tell that because I am doing this, this, and this. I can tell that because in my body, I feel this, this, and this, and I'm saying this in my head. So just take a moment. You can pause the video and do it if you're sitting next to somebody that you trust, or after this video is over, take some time and do that expression activity with somebody. It will make you feel very good and different as long as it's somebody that supports you and knows what you're doing. I think it's really important that we understand that we need people who let us know that it is okay to feel what we feel and that they want to hear it and they are there to understand us. We need to trust that people aren't going anywhere when life isn't perfect. There are some of those friends out there that seem to be fair weather friends that only are around when things are going well. But we need those support people that are there when life isn't perfect. We need the security within our relationships so we feel safe. Otherwise, we are constantly worried about and feeling about honoring our own voice and our own selves because we're afraid we'll lose love. It all wraps up together, that collective well-being tree. How do we encourage effective emotional expression with ourselves and with others? One thing is to use the attunement and those questions with people and find out, what are you feeling right now and what's going on with your body? And I just saw you throw that backpack on the ground, using all of that. Model using I statements. Say, I feel as often as you're feeling an emotion. Don't be afraid to use that statement. I will stress here the importance of saying I feel rather than I am. If I am angry, it's part of who I am as a person. If I feel angry, it allows me some control to be able to change that feeling. So that's why I feel is so much better to use than I am. The other thing we can really do to encourage other people to express their emotions well is to really listen more and talk less. And sometimes that's hard to do because our self-talk is just chattering away in our head. And we might want to interrupt, or we might want to say, oh, well, I felt that way sometime too. Sometimes just listening more and talking less is really helpful. You definitely want to praise somebody for sharing with you, even if you just say, thank you for sharing that. You don't have to go above and beyond, but making sure that they're pleased that you are their support person and they can come share emotions with you. The other piece is that you have to be ready to respond to difficult emotions. You want to have enough of your own regulation and to understand where you are in the brain, that if somebody is expressing a difficult emotion and they're in their back seat, that you can remain in your front seat. You want to help other people understand nonverbal cues. What is somebody else's face and body and voice doing? Just like we talked about with ourselves, you want to help other people understand that, especially if you're working with children. You can help them understand the body language and the facial expressions really well. Again, encourage the use of I feel statements. You also want to help people know how to pick the right person to talk to. Being able to express your emotions well means that you can pick out people that are safe relationships and supportive relationships. So you need to be able to pick the right people to talk about your emotions with. And then you have to pick the right moment, especially when you're having a tougher emotion. So if I'm really angry and somebody else is really angry, and I want to talk with that person about being really angry myself, that's probably not the best moment to do that. I should probably wait until both of us have come to a calmer place and then come back and say, hey, I felt angry at this point, and have that discussion. So helping other people understand nonverbal skills and their verbal skills and picking the right person and picking the right moment are all really important things to understand when you're going to express your emotions effectively. We can also express our emotions through all sorts of symbolic ways through art. And art can be anything from painting and drawing to sculpture to weaving to pottery, so many different ways. Through music, either creating our own music or just listening to music and expressing ourselves through the music that we hear. Any type of movement can be an expression of emotions, and so can writing. And you can write for yourself, or you can write a book, or you can write poems. But these are different ways that we can actually express ourselves without having to sit down and have a conversation with somebody else. And they're all very healthy. So we've made it up through the trunk of our collective well-being tree. We've talked about our own awareness and reflection and regulation, how to do attunement and how to respond to other people and to build those into our routines and our rituals. And then we've talked about our own physical body and other people's physical bodies and how do we identify our emotions and regulate our emotions and now express our emotions. So we're going to go up into the branches of the tree, into the competency pieces in the last few videos. So to reflect on this video, what makes it difficult to share your emotions with others? Stop and think about that. Is it something within you or a response you've gotten from them or a reaction? Again, pause multiple times throughout the day for your action step and say, I feel to yourself or to others. Or use some sort of symbolic expression to let people know what your emotions are. Share them. Thank you again for being part of this video series. If you need further information or to contact me, please reach out at creatingresilience.org.